Hey everybody, Chad Valdez here, the host of The Chad Valdez on YouTube and YouTube channel, and also the host of The Real Talk with Chad Valdez, where you can find that format strictly via Apple Podcast. The Real Talk with Chad Valdez on that platform. And right now, what you're looking at is my YouTube channel, The Chad Valdez. I invite and encourage you to subscribe to this and also follow me and hit that check button on the Apple Podcast library of The Real Talk with Chad Valdez. Follow both of the platforms. I will really, really appreciate you doing so. So coming on here to have some sports talk, if you will. This is the look and the listen version via this YouTube channel. And I'm going to have extended commentary of my Texas Rangers, being that they're now world champions. They got that World Series championship win a week ago come on Wednesday, November the 1st. A date which will live in Texas Rangers infamy. The Texas Rangers win the 2023 World Series for their first ever World Series championship. And so I'm going to be talking about that because it's still valid. It's still, there's a lot of clout to go with it to continue to comment on it, even though it is only less than a week removed from that magical night there in Arizona, in Phoenix at Chase Field. Would have loved to win it in front of the home fans, but you just knew, as well as we play on the road, and then we got that game one win, this is going to be over in 45 games. This is going to be over in 45 games. And so, all the credit to the Arizona, I almost said the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks. They were gritty in game two. It was a must-win game for them. And then going back home, and we were able to win those three games 3, 4, and 5 there in Chase Field. And so we're going to be talking about that. And also throwing some football commentary, college football as well as NFL. I'm going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys, the tough loss 28-23 to the rotten, stinking, filthy Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday there in Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. So as I wrap up that opening monologue, right out of the gate, right out of the chute, as I always say that on my podcast, if you will, whenever I'm doing it on air. And so my Texas Rangers, World Series champions, as you can tell, they got this world title belt right next to him, because that's who the fuck they are. World Series champions. World Series, as Avery Johnson would say, World Series champions. And so, it was really unsure at the start of the season, really unknown. No one really had the crystal ball of how good the season was going to go. You got a World Series championship manager now 4 times. Before we won, it was 3 with the San Francisco Giants, 2010, 2012, and 2010, and then 2010, 2012 or 13, then 15, if I'm not mistaken. Doesn't make a damn bit of difference. He's got 3, now 4 with the Rangers. And so with that going into start of the season, with the star-studded lineup that we have, Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, the second season with the Rangers coming in to 2023. And then you had, Jacob deGrom coming in, Nathan Eovaldi as well. You had Nathaniel Lowe returning, Josh Young, the up-and-comer, the star that he is, the third baseman. Remember the All-Star game? It was totally stacked with Rangers except for first base. And I'm sure Nathaniel Lowe was like, what the hell did I do wrong? Adolis Garcia, our star-studded right fielder, the home run champ that he is, the home run champ for us. And then you have Adolis Chapman, if you will. Hopefully he comes back. Also, the pitchers at the midway of the season, when we were able to acquire Bad Back Scherzer, and then also Jordan Montgomery. I felt bad. I felt kind of, Jordan Montgomery's not getting as much talk as Mad Max is, but Jordan Montgomery got his he got his due come playoff time of the stellar record that he had. I think he finished up being 3-1, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because game 2 he was a starter. Nathan Eovaldi game 1. And so with all of that going on, was really unsure of how well they were going to do unless you were a player, a coach, the manager in the clubhouse to say, hey, we're here to win. That's the reason why Bruce Bochy came out of retirement, had a cup of coffee with that, a 3-year cup of coffee in retirement. Still blows my mind that no Major League Baseball teams were able to sweep him off of his feet and his couch, if you will, to be the manager of their club. Obviously, he came back to win, not to rebuild a team, not to rebuild a franchise. And so I just wanted to have some extended Texas Rangers commentary here. Unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. Fantastic. Enormous postseason. 11 of the 13 wins were on the road. That's just unheard of. A big continued congratulations to the Texas Rangers. You are World Series champions. November the 1st, 2023 is a date that will live in Texas Rangers infamy, and a date that your Texas Rangers faithful and the fans will not ever forget, much less not ever too soon to forget. And so now we'll switch over to have some football commentary. Quickly into college football. It's a whole mess. It's a whole can of worms with the whole sign stealing, a cheating scandal there with Michigan, the investigation into that. Really unsure what type of penalty, what type of suspension is going to come down on Jim Harbaugh. This will be a second one if it happens, and I'm thinking that it will. Excuse me. If it's not going to be this weekend, then I project it will be next weekend, the 18th, because the following is Thanksgiving weekend. They're not going to suspend Jim Harbaugh for the greatest rivalry in college football, Michigan-Ohio State. That's just the way that is. And so look for 1 to no more than 2 game suspension. If it does come down, it just may be one hell of a fine, some sanctions, or something like that that's going to go against him. So it's just a whole can of worms, if you will. Now, a lot of teams, people have been saying there's a lot of coaches and teams, they try to pick up on signs. They may say pick up on signs, not necessarily stealing signs. And so that's why you have all these decoys on the sideline, this, that, whatever. And I'm just saying, and an example, 2 or 3 of those guys, they're just decoys. Their signs are not meaning a damn thing of that specific play. And how it's picked up for Michigan to capitalize on that is mind-blowing. So I just wanted to get that in there on that. Really quickly, I'm going to talk about A&M, my college football team that I grew up loving. I absolutely love the maroon and white fighting Texas A&M Aggies. I've seen them win. I've seen them lose, but I've not ever seen them quit and give up. So the loss versus Ole Miss that was a painful one. That was really tough loss. Lost it there in the last part of the game when Randy Bond's field goal kick attempt to get it to tie the game to 38 to go into overtime. But that was unfortunate. It was unsuccessful. Barely got tipped and was just a little bit right, a little bit short. So, there was a lot of momentum that Ole Miss had in different parts of the game. And A&M, they never gave up. They fought back. Had a touchdown, had an interception to the end zone. That was really costly. Could have went up more on the scoreboard, getting close to tie it, if you will. That was unfortunate. So there's a lot of heat. Yes, there's a lot of heat on head football coach Jimbo Fisher. And, the losses that we had to to Alabama, and also Tennessee, it's not like we're getting blown out by them. There's no moral victories. But if we were getting blown out of those 2 other losses plus Ole Miss, you take away the Miami game because we didn't get blown out. The game just kind of got away from us there towards the end. The score wasn't that bad. If you watch the game, it wasn't that much of a dominating win that Miami had over A&M. So I just wanted to throw some quick commentary in here for Texas A&M football. It's a big win. It is a big win. Hopefully it's a big win come Saturday night versus Mississippi State coming into Kyle Field, the last night game of the season, which is going to be unbelievable. It's going to be fantastic for those seniors to have one more night game to close out their A&M career at home in Kyle Field. 102,000 plus strong will be there for it. Really thankful that they were able to get a night game before the season ends. So now as a transition, I really just want to talk about the Cowboys that lost to the rotten, stinking, filthy Philadelphia Eagles 28-23. So it wasn't a blowout. Went down to the wire. And Dak Prescott was the best player on the entire field Sunday afternoon at Lincoln Financial Field. No doubt about it. There's no fucking doubt about that Dak Prescott, he outplayed Jalen Hurts with all due respect. Jalen Hurts, he fumbled the ball a couple of times and was able to get back on it. How many times did Dak Prescott cough up or fumble the football? None. Zero. He was the best player on the field Sunday night. Had a hell of a game. Played smart, played tough, played hard, just like the entire team did. So we had the lead going into halftime, 17-14, and people are gloating. People are going out. But the Cowboys, they can't even protect the lead at halftime. It's 3 fucking points. It's not like it was 13 or 30. And so that was like, yeah, they had the lead, but it's just about a field goal. And Philadelphia, they get the ball back. They get the ball back at halftime. And they scored 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. We shut them out in the fourth, but we had a touchdown that got reversed of the tight end Shoemaker, the rookie tight end. He catches the ball securely, and it looked like he was getting tackled before he caught the ball. There was no penalty on that. And when he did catch the ball, it looked like his right foot grated across the grass in the end zone. They didn't call that. And then what they overturned is when his left knee, I guess it was that far from the damn crossing the plane to be a touchdown, secure the ball, and so they overturned that call. And then you got the 2-point conversion. If that would have been successful, 9 times out of 10 that will be. 9 other times his entire foot's going to be in bounds, not 7/8 of it. The other 8 is not going to be there. Not about the next 9 times that he would do that. That's just a little bit of luck. Game of inches, if you will. Game of inches. And so that opportunity is to win the game. And if you want to say Philadelphia made a few more plays to win the game, then evidently that is true. They came out, they had a great third quarter because they extended the lead, and they got those 2 touchdowns in the third quarter to get them 28 points to our only 23. So that's a little bit unfortunate. And, the defense played sound pretty much all game. They gave up some big plays, if you will, extended the drives that Philadelphia had. And, the last year, we lost at home, we lost on the road to Philadelphia. That's when Dak Prescott was out of the broken thumb because the offensive line could protect him in an opening season game versus Tampa Tom Brady then with the Buccaneers. And then Cooper Rush throws 3 interceptions in that game. You fast forward from that loss last year, you fast forward it to the Christmas Eve game versus them in 2022, and we ball out that game. Dak Prescott balls out, except for early in the play when he's throwing the ball, just a little shovel pass, if what have you, a little short one, or just kind of lobbed it over, I'm sorry. And what does Sweat do? A fucking wingspan of about 6 to 7 feet. He makes the play. Other than that, Dak Prescott balls out, and we go on to win the damn game. And so most likely, come November the 10th, when Philadelphia comes into AT&T Stadium, the Palace in Dallas, is JT the Brick via Mad Dog Sports Radio. And also, he has his own channel and show right here on YouTube. I invite and encourage you to follow that, just as you would do this one here. JT the Brick calls it the Palace in Dallas when they come on November the 10th. I very well look for that victory to be for the Cowboys. So 3 of these next games that the Cowboys have, don't even have to look at the fucking schedule. It is this Sunday, a dump of a team. You got to feel sorry for the New York Football Giants. I don't. And then we're on the road in Carolina. They're winless. That'll be maybe look for Cooper Rush and maybe Trey Lance to get into the game if it's a blowout late into the game. Still haven't seen Trey Lance as quarterback for the Cowboys yet. Haven't needed him. And then the next 3 games are at home after the Carolina game, where we host the Commanders. That's on Thanksgiving Day afternoon, the 3:25 slot. And then we'll host the Seattle Seahawks the following Thursday. That is on Amazon Prime. And for the local audience in Dallas-Fort Worth, I believe that will be televised via CBS Channel 11. And then after that is the November 10th game. So we have like nearly a week and a half bye after the Seattle game. Get ready for a big showdown, which will be most likely for the NFC East winner in that game, November the 10th. Looking forward to that one. And down the stretch of the season will go. After that, we're only going to have one more home game. That will be a pivotal for the NFC playoff picture. It'll be the Detroit Lions that we host on Monday Night Football. That is on Saturday. I say Monday Night Football. That is via ESPN ABC, so hopefully Joe Buck and Troy Aikman will be on that call. As I wrap this up, everybody, tell a family member, tell a friend, and until next time, I'll catch you on the next video right here at the Chad Valdez YouTube channel.